Hey, it's Dan DSK. It's our first video for YouTube, and I wanted to do this because most of you guys know me from Instagram, and Instagram, it only gives you 10 seconds of video to kind of say what you want to say. Well, I have a lot of questions from people, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to kind of be answered as far as what's going to go on with Dsk Tactical. A lot of questions like, when your book's opening up, what do you do in the shop, yada yada yada, things like that. So I wanted to address a lot of things with you, and wanted to go over some knives that we just finished. It is 10:30 at night, and I'm exhausted, having some end of the day beer. So I'm gonna answer a whole bunch of questions for you guys. I'm gonna take you guys through some knives, and hopefully we're gonna be starting to do a whole lot more of YouTube videos for you. Like I said, bringing you into the shop and going through some builds with you, allowing you to kind of see what goes on here. I think it'll be really cool for you guys. I think it'll be a lot of fun for me, and try to get some people involved. And I think it'll be really cool. But a lot of guys want to know when my books are going to open again, and honestly, I don't think my books are going to open again. It's not that I'm going to stop making knives. It's that what I want to do is I want to start making things that are available, and when they're done, they'll post on my website and they'll be for sale. I don't want a whole wait time and all this other stuff that I've had this past year. I don't want that to happen again. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start making a lot of stuff, and it's just going to be, when it posts on the website, it's going to be available, it's going to be sold, and it's going to be gone. Wherever it goes, who knows, but that's more than likely what I'm going to want to do. Also, everyone who got on my books this first year, I have all your names, I have all your information. Everybody who had faith in me, who put money towards me, who believed in me. Not saying that if you didn't make the books, not saying that you don't believe in me, but I'm just saying all those people who went ahead right off the bat and just said, yeah, we want a knife from you. All those guys, I will take a custom order from you. Kind of your reward for believing in me and show my appreciation to you and everything else. All those guys who got on my books, there's some guys out there that have 7 of my knives. Those guys, if you got on my books, I will take a custom order from you. No problem. I've got your information, I've got your names and everything else. So that's about the extent of who I will take a custom order from. Everything else, I mean, if you have an order that really interests me, feel free to go ahead and ask, let me know. If it interests me, then we'll probably figure it out and get something done. But most of my stuff is just going to be made how I want it, or kind of what I'm feeling that day, or whatever else, and it's going to be made, and it's going to post, and it's going to be ready for sale. That's kind of how I want that to go. The website's going to be changing. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and add a whole page of available things, available knives and whatnot, to where that's going to go ahead and take care of itself, to where you guys, I'll let you know through Instagram, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff of what's hit on the website, and then you can go ahead and go and purchase whatever you want. A lot of guys have asked me, like, why is there no pricing and stuff like that on the website? Well, it's because everybody kept ordering stuff after my books closed. I forgot to kind of shut the website down, so I kept getting orders and orders and orders and orders. So I had to shut that down, took the prices off. A lot of prices are probably going to change, and yeah, that's pretty much, hopefully that answers your questions about the website. When I'm ready to go ahead and start either taking custom orders from those guys again, or just start making stuff available, the website will get more and more activated. Another question is about the Diamondback. That's that new knife that I'm putting out. Whether it's going to be a mid-tech or not, a lot of guys are wondering what's going to go on with that. As of right now, it is going to stay a custom. If I were to go with a mid-tech knife, actually I don't even know if this would even qualify as a mid-tech knife. I already have a company. The 3D rendering is all done for the knife. If I had a company make 4 parts for me, the pocket clip, the 2 sides, and just basically surface grinding and precision reaming the blade, everything still needs to be done by me. It needs to be chamfered, it needs to be ground, it needs to be heat treated, it needs to be customized, fit and finish, sharpened, everything. So it's still pretty much a custom knife. So if I were to go with a mid-tech knife, it would be the Diamondback. and it would basically be me sending it to another company to go through a whole build and heat treat and grind and have somebody else doing everything for me, to where I pay them money, I give them the design, they send it back to me in boxes or packaging, basically ready to sell. And to me, that's, at this point, it's pretty boring. I want to go ahead and have my hands all over my knives, and I want to go ahead and get everything done how I want it to be done at this point in time. So I'm not really quite ready to pull the trigger on a mid-tech knife. Plus, when you start doing mid-tech knives, everything becomes really redundant and the same, and you do that, China starts knocking you off. So as of right now, everything is completely different, completely handmade, so it's really hard for China to go ahead and knock you off. So what else do we got here? Cover that. Auctions and raffles. I've had some questions about that, and what we're going to do is there are going to be auctions, there are going to be raffles. Those are going to be a lot of the custom builds I'm going to bring you in the shop for. We're going to go ahead and go through lots of beer drinking and lots of making some chips on the mill and lots of grinding and everything else. So some of those knives are going to be available for, we'll figure out how to do a raffle or auction, things like that, but those are definitely going to come down the pipe for you guys. Alright, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. And again, I just wanted, before we get into these knives and kind of what I finished up here, I really wanted to thank you guys for, for everything, for just the warm welcome and the establishment, kind of putting me on the map and everything else. I mean, I couldn't keep doing what I love to do, if it wasn't for you, wasn't for you guys keeping me busy. So I really appreciate it. So we can go over a few things with these knives. These are 8 knives right here, and some of these orders got pretty extravagant. These are the SOE pouches right here. John Willis over at SOE, they actually put these out for me, and they're really, I think, some of the best some of the best knife cases on the market today. My packaging always comes with my pouch right here on the outside. Certificate of authenticity, my business card right there. All hand signed by me, every single knife, with a little bit of detail about the knife. Let's see, this first knife right here, this is my VXC. I think this guy is I think he's a contractor over in the Middle East, actually. I think he's a cop or something like that, I'm not quite sure. This knife's going to go out to him. Pretty big knife. I did a nice wedge grind on this with a mirrored finish. It's got a polished pocket clip here, and I made one pretty similar to this a long time ago, and he saw a picture of it, and he basically wanted me to duplicate it. So I didn't duplicate it perfectly because there were a couple things about it that I wanted to change. What he saw was a prototype with a little groove here, just kind of do a two-handed open. And if you wanted to, kind of choke down on it, gives you something to kind of pop it out with. And just go ahead and fling it out. Action on it is great. Great detent. It's a really nice knife. And every knife. It's really one of the big reasons why I like the pouch is because it actually fits my really big knives. So I go ahead and package all these things up, and hopefully these will be shipping out tomorrow. This is my kickstand. A lot of you guys have seen these online. This is a big kickstand, okay? This is over, I think, probably 280 thou thick. It's over 1/4 of an inch. This is my rough tumble dimpling. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but it's a real kind of beat up looking, real rough tumble type of dimpling. These are on washers, mind you, not bearings. And the action on these things is just absolutely crazy. The action on these, they just keep coming better and better and better every single time. Polish clip. Wanted me to go ahead and do this customer wanted a mirrored finish on the edge here. No lock stick. Even if you fling it out, there's no lock stick on this thing. Really hard, no lock stick. It's really just ridiculously big knife. This is more Actually, there's one in here that's really more my style, but this is definitely more that apocalyptic finish that I absolutely love doing. And here's a blingy finish knife. Blingy really isn't my style. Not that I would carry it, but I definitely do some bling. Okay. This customer wanted kind of an orange peel finish with a Damascus backspacer that I kind of grew for him. Polished pocket clip. This one actually is on bearings right here. So the action on this thing just falls right on itself. It's just that typical bearing type of action. Stonewash finish with kind of the typical swan toe kind of grind. 1/4 inch thick, and I kind of raked it down a little bit over here on the spine. It kind of looks pretty cool. Went pretty heavy on the milling here. It's all symmetrical all the way down. It's a pretty cool knife. Real shiny, real cool. This order right here had pretty much kind of like the matching set of just about everything. Here's my tie fly wallet with some really crazy kind of anodizing going on, almost like a Chris Martin over at Phantom Steelworks. Chris does some of the best stuff around. Much better than me at coloring this stuff, but try to get close. He also wanted a matching tie bead to kind of go with all the dimpling that he wanted. Another gentleman folder right here. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but you got a Damascus pocket clip right here with the Damascus backspacer. Is it getting it?
Pretty well.
He wanted a lanyard hole, so I kind of milled a little groove. That's a little pass-through window right there on the pocket clip, on the backspacer rather. Some really crazy dimpling and some crazy coloring going on. He also wanted this acid stonewash with a buoy grind. This is the first gentleman folder I've done with a buoy grind. And he wanted that nice little mirrored polish right there. 1/4 inch thick. This is a sweet little knife. On bearings, of course. Comes right down. It's a beautiful knife. Crazy coloring going on. So for him, it's going to go out. Nice little matching set here. Make sure we don't lose that bead. Alright, another big kickstand. Now this is more of my style of knife. Big 1/4 inch thick blade. Excellent center. Polished pocket clip right here. Insane action on washers. You got your acid stone wash with that kind of crazy kind of DSK style of dimpling and that real nice soft satin blast. This is my style of knife. If you guys were to go ahead and order and say, you know, just make me something cool, whatever, if you want to call it, just, you know, up to you, just kind of make something cool and then just send it out to me. More than likely this is something that you're going to get. Nice acid stone wash, maybe even a polished blade. I love polished, but along the lines of this kind of blast with some polished hardware. Definitely a look that I love seeing. These things come out with insane detents too. Just great detents. Great action. Zero lock stick. It's a great knife. Surprisingly enough, out of this whole bunch, it's probably my favorite knife, actually. Got another gentleman folder. He wanted a matching tie bead, sort of matching, but I'll show you what the knife here is. They all look a little bit different. There's a lot of pass-through little countersunk windows here that go all the way through. He wanted 3/16 on 3/16, which is, to me, a great size of these knives. It's a great EDC size. Super light. A great detail on this knife. Polished clip. You want the tumbled finish here with some kind of fresh grinds coming through on the blade. So I did that with some flame. I like the random flame that I do. It's just kind of, never really know where it's going to go. I don't do the striping or anything else. I just give it some kind of crazy coloring going on. Super smooth knife on washers. Nice knife. Let's save that one for last. Got another 3/16 right here. A 3/16 kickstand. He wants some really crazy coloring going on the dimpling here. So I left the dimpling kind of fresh with my blast on the outside. Went through and went ahead and flamed the inside here with some different colors. Polished pocket clip. On washers, tumbled finish. Just kind of, I think this color kind of tied everything together really nice. Kind of made it pop. Really cool knife. Really dig it. One thing I didn't tell you guys before I get to that last knife, there's probably going to be some design changes. The kickstand, I don't know how long I'm going to do the kickstand. It may go away. I may make it smaller. I'm not sure. I may change the blade on it. I may make it kind of into like a Quaking blade. I might take the milling and the jimping away, keep it kind of a flipper style, but I may just change the blade on it. I'm not sure. The gentleman folder, I don't know how long I'm going to do, or the mini. I may make it more of an internal stop. It's an external stop now. I may make it internal and kind of complete the outside of it. I'm not sure, because I get really bored. If I do something over and over and over again for a long time, I'm just like, I'm already over it. So I may just go to the drawing board, make a whole new line of knives, and just kind of keep those knives that you guys already have and just make them even more collectible to where I just don't even do them anymore. But the Mini VX is going to be going through some changes also again. So the Mini VX, what I did is I'm going to change the lock side of this. It's actually going to be a little bit shorter. It's going to be, the lock bar is really going to change on this. Still going to stay really, really big, really stubby. I'm going to keep doing these titanium back spacers here. I may even start messing around with some integral knives. May get some really thick titanium, and may start dabbling with some integrals. So stay tuned for that. Should be pretty cool. This last knife right here is the first kickstand that I've done. That's Damascus on bearings with a Damascus pocket clip. I don't know if you can pick that up.
I'm trying to.
We got some really nice Damascus here. And the action on this thing came out absolutely ridiculous. I did a nice little swedge on the back here. A lot of guys have been wondering if I could do a kickstand with a swedge. This customer wanted just some really heavily contoured handles, to where this guy, I mean, it looks just beat the hell out of the titanium, just really rounded everything off, and it's super comfortable in the hands. It's ridiculous. The Damascus pocket clip kind of pops it off. Raindrop pattern on the Damascus too. That's Rob Thomas's over in Vegas. Just on bearings. Absolutely ridiculous action on this thing. It came out beautiful. So these knives here, they're going to be going out hopefully tomorrow. And I got some, I forgot to tell you, we got these little tie fly wallets also with the dimpling pattern here. Mess around with the pocket clips a little bit. Just some nice little, you know, titanium wallets. The spring on the inside here. I carry one of these. I think they're great. They're pretty hefty, more of like a card holder, but they work pretty good. Anyway, like I said, we're going to be doing a whole lot more of these videos, so stay tuned. You guys take care, okay? Thanks.